Hello YouTubers. Well, those of you who have been with me for a long time and remember the Telling It All series know that I've always been involved in motorcycles and that I gave up a good secure job to go to be a mechanic, then to be a dealer, and motorbikes have been my life. Perhaps you remember that when I was 11 years old I had a ride on the bike of a friend like this. And good gracious, that's now 70 years ago, but a lot's happened since then. I was very involved in motorcycling sport, and I tried out many of the various disciplines, some of which I liked, some I didn't, some that I was good at, and some which I just couldn't cope with at all. But one thing that I did get heavily involved with all of my life was motorcycle trials. Now, it's difficult to describe what motorcycle trials are, but basically one is set the task of travelling through difficult terrain where you are observed and marks are deducted according to your performance, and sort of the last one's home a sissy, and the ones with the least mark is the winners. And the following is a little example of what the clever boys do today in the world of trials. And of course, as you will expect, it was all very different in my day. The basic idea was the same, but in our day they were called endurance and reliability trials, in that you had a set course over rough territory, which might have been anything from 60 to 150 miles, and also included was the fact that you had to complete it within a certain time. So it was a little bit different, but also we had very different machines. These boys ride in very lightweight machines, masses of ground clearance, loads of suspension travel, and very sticky tyres. Whereas the bike that I rode many different sorts of bikes, some of which I built myself, but the bike that I rode most when I was performing quite well was a Norton 500T, which was basically a road machine with a few modifications: a larger front wheel, an upraised exhaust pipe, and that was about it. It had quite hard 6-ply tyres, and if you could get 6 inches of ground clearance you thought you were doing well. The whole thing would have probably weighed about 320 pounds, I would think, so a very different kettle of fish entirely. So that the sort of terrain that was put in front of us was very different from what you've just seen the modern boys do. I mean, our bikes could never get across that sort of terrain, and if the clever boys today were to ride the sort of sections that we rode, then they would be ridiculously easy to them. But nevertheless, it was a very tough sport, and one that I really enjoyed, and it was a very large part of my life. So you ask, was I any good? Yeah, I was pretty good in my day. I was sort of expected to win club trials many sort of county trials and performed in national trials and international trials, where you were competing with the professionals and the factory supported people. But yes, it was a wonderful life, and so many happy memories. So that's enough for the moment. I'll leave you to watch a little bit more of the very courageous and skillful young men that now do what I did 50 years ago. No, 50 years ago, 1950, I don't know, 30 odd years ago. So for now, goodbye.
Back. Don't strike there.